What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Marriage
So
Exposed.
That's how you're gonna do.
What is your problem?
I really want some tea.
Yeah, we'll have to film. After we film, I'll bring you all the tea.
We're in our space.
Yes.
Can you get the workers to get me some tea?
Wait. So you want the people to think that
Amina, go get me some tea.
Wow. Okay, I'm dead. Okay, that's now my hat has come off. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Episode 5 of Marriage Exposed. We apologize because we're actually shooting this on a Wednesday and we normally launch on a Wednesday, but we've been jet setting. We were recently in Morocco, tea land for this woman, as to why we couldn't film. So we just got back. And yeah, it's been a crazy trip. But we come to you today with episode 5. Topic is...
Wait, so we're on Nigerian time. Like I've been saying.
Shut up.
Like I told you guys.
Anyway, episode 5 is about
wedding versus the marriage or the commitment. Right. And how we're going to start it is, how would you define a wedding and how would you define a marriage/commitment?
Are you sure you want my definition of a wedding? Okay.
Start with the marriage. What do you define?
No, I want wedding.
No.
It's my choice. It's not my program. Yes, but it's my program too.
I asked the question.
People, please help me.
But I asked the question.
Okay. You want me to start with the marriage and commitment? To me, I think...
I prefer you to start with the wedding.
You're a joker. You are not even a serious human being. To me, a wedding is a chance for people to come and eat your jollof rice. That's it. They don't do anything else. All of the people that have came to people's weddings to eat jollof rice, shame on you. Shame on you. It's a way for people to come and eat your jollof rice. Nigerians, you know who I'm talking to. But that's my definition of a wedding. It's a bloody party that's 4 or 5 hours long. You stretch yourself out, and that's the end of it. The wedding and the commitment to me, the marriage and the commitment to me is literally being selfless and saying that you're willing to compromise and wake up every morning, choose to be with somebody, right? Because there's a lot of temptation out in the world. There's a lot of moods, a lot of swings. People change. People have different feelings. You literally get up every morning and you commit and you compromise. Remember where we got that from?
Where was your compromise for my tea?
Are you still on the tea? We are literally 15 minutes in Shushu's and you're still talking about tea. We are in Joker. What is the wedding? Shout out to Megan, London.
What's up, Megan?
Wedding and commitment marriage to you, where do you see it?
So I agree with everything you're saying. The jollof rice, you're such a... I can't.
Is it not true? But did we not go to other people's wedding to eat their jollof rice?
Don't put me in it. I came to see people's commitment.
Yeah, okay.
No, but I agree. I feel like a marriage or commitment is literally an agreement amongst two people that choose each other and they want to choose each other for the rest of their lives. And the wedding is just a celebration of that.
So let me ask you a question. What makes you choose being with me? And this is, I kind of want to be serious about this topic because that's a decision you have to make, right?
What would make you think I wouldn't be serious?
Because you're a joker. I know who I'm married to. I know who you are. But in all honesty, because nobody's perfect. Everybody has their flaws. Everybody has everything wrong. So how do you decide? Is it a choice you make every morning or is it a choice you've decided you've made and that's it? There's no looking back.
It's funny. It kind of goes back and forth. And I never thought of it that way, but that's a really good question. So it wasn't like I first met you and I was like, I choose him no matter what, whatever. But it's as days went on and as we continue to kind of mesh into one in our relationship, not business before marriage, but literally, I'm like, oh, I can see myself being with this person.
Yeah.
Oh, if this is what he's showing me that could be our everyday, I can do this. I can put up with this. I can put up with this. And then it's kind of like how you got me is how you're keeping me.
Yeah.
Basically. So it's how you got me. If you're doing little things and I'm seeing compromise, I'm seeing all stuff, then I'm like, this is what I want in a husband.
Right.
This is what I want. So this is what I choose.
Right.
This is the commitment that I choose.
Right.
But you just made a really good thought about saying, is it an everyday thing? Because now that you're in a marriage,
Right.
it's a whole different story. And
Right.
not saying that you've changed.
No, understand.
Well, we both change in a marriage because everybody's going to change in
Right.
marriage. But I feel like now that you're in it, and it's no more wedding. It's no more you're trying to get me. Now you have me. Now it's like, okay, so you leave the toilet seat up. Do I choose to stay, or do I choose to say, you know, babe?
Every guy, we all leave the toilet seat up.
So annoying.
It's a thing. Shut up.
So annoying. But same with me.
By the way, go ahead, continue. I just realized we're not wearing microphones, but if you people can't hear us,
I've been noticed that.
See noise volume.
But I wasn't going to
go back
say
to your,
anything
go back to your
until
hair
I got my
leaving.
tea.
Go back to your hair leaving on the floor.
Not on the floor, but like not on the. It's
in
not
the
on the
in the
floor.
shower.
In the shower. But
I think
you
it's
choose.
an ant.
You don't think it's an ant?
It's an ant. It's a big cockroach. Those Nigerians, you know those big cockroaches
no, it's
that
not.
are there.
No,
the
it's
big
not.
black
But
ones.
like, you know, hair that's left or whatever, like you choose to say, you know what? Do I divorce her today?
No.
Or
Otakasi. Hey.
Or do I commit and say, babe, this ain't it?
Yeah. But I think for me, right, and the reason I asked you that question is because I don't wake up every day asking myself if I'm making a choice, right? I think as we grew, that piece I agree with you, as we grew, I knew the decision was made, right? For me, and my sister, I think, alluded to you about this week when we were together. I kind of knew right from the beginning. Right. So, they say when you know, and I kind of knew right from the beginning. The thing for me, I think, is most important and why the decision for every day is so simple is because while you've changed, right, because we're not dating and we're not trying to do little things, you haven't really changed. And what do I mean by that? The selflessness that you've had from the beginning has been there. Right. And if you remember, I want to allude to Kevin and Carol that we met, this couple that we met on the trip that we were just on in Morocco. They've been together for a long time. They're not married. They're just kind of together. They've tried to get married a couple times. And one of the things they mentioned was commitment and communication, right? Was one of the two things that they thought 20 plus years together was extremely important. And I think that to me is what I've realized is made choosing to be with you so easy. The commitment is there because we have the ability to communicate. One of the things that I believe is our superpower and our strength is, hey, this is how you make me feel. Not necessarily this is how I'm feeling. And that was something that I had to learn from you. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to say this is how you make me feel. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said making the decision to wake that I've made without having to look at it every morning is I know what I'm getting. If it starts to change, then I have to communicate.
I'll interrupt though, because I can't say that I agree with you 100%. Okay. And the reason why I say 100%, listen, not like that. What I'm saying is you said that you already knew and you've never had to wake up day by day. Yeah. But in the beginning, that was not true.
Well, fair. Okay. So I like that. It's true because there was some hesitation on my part. Now we're sitting up straight. See, we're sitting up straight because we have gotten serious time. Because there was hesitation and fear from my side, right? Because at the end of the day, I didn't know if you were about you or if you were putting on a show. And though I knew...
You think I was an actress? You think I'd be a good actress?
Can we edit this part out? No, the reality was I knew and I had a feeling, but I didn't want to give that to you and let it be so straightforward because there was doubt based on my previous experience. I thought I knew as well. But my issue with what I did previously was I had lists. For those of us out there that make lists, I had lists. This person had to be this and this and this and this and live. I mean, my list was ridiculous. But this time I didn't have a list, right? Because in contrary, everything that I had on my list, you didn't fit.
Damn.
No offense. But no, on a serious note though, sometimes when you step out of your comfort zone, you have to, that's where you find what you need. And I think that's what our marriage and commitment is.
No, that's true.
We've decided stepping out of our comfort zone, which is maybe you're rigid in something, but you can't be anymore. You have to sort of give back a little bit in order to be able to compromise and sacrifice and meet in the middle.
So people want to know what was on your list.
Okay. The person had to be Nigerian. The person had to be Muslim. The person had to be Yoruba. The person had to live less than an hour away.
Wow, I really failed.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, no, I did not.
Uh-huh.
According to 23andMe, I am 27% Nigerian. So I would.
So you got 27% of 100. Small, as in small chops. Small chops. But no, and that's what I think the marriage and commitment, while the wedding is great planning and everything, in all honesty, it's a party that happens that brings people together to celebrate. But when all of it is gone, you're living in this house with this person and you have to make certain commitments and sacrifices. Like, do I believe that you've made sacrifices and I have? Yeah, there's certain things we probably wouldn't accept, but because we know that each other are compromising on other things, we're good with it.
True.
Right? It's just, I think it's what it is from that perspective.
I have to be honest, I feel like the reason why people kind of like glorify wedding versus the commitment is because look at society. Society, as a little girl, growing up, you see all these fairy tales. You see Cinderella and her Prince Charming. Yeah. You see Little Mermaid and was it Eric? Yeah, Little Mermaid Eric. You see Beauty and the Beast. You see them. They're like a damsel in distress, whatever. The guy finds them. They fall in love. Fair. They have a beautiful wedding, and you never see the rest. Yep. Like nobody ever came back and was like, "Oh yeah, they're married. They're struggling. They have to compromise." Oh, you never see that they had a baby. Yep. Like you never see the hard part. You see your whole purpose is to get to the wedding. So a lot of people think, I can't wait for my dream wedding. You never hear somebody say, I can't wait for my dream marriage.
I think that's a true statement that probably a lot of people don't think about. It's that society pumps us full of that information. Yeah. And it's almost like they give you 50% of the whole equation, where the other 50% requires work. And I will tell you, I used to be a believer that marriage didn't require work.
Really?
I promise you. I was a hell of a believer that marriage didn't require work. But what I realized is there's two types of work, right? In that there's good work and there's bad work. In a bad marriage, you can have a lot of bad work. In a good marriage, there's good work, right? You're working to keep the marriage going. You're working to keep it exciting. You have to keep doing things. You have to travel. You have to surprise. You have to date. So I've heard some people say, right? You could easily sit there and say, I've got the person and sort of relax. But if you're committed to the union, committed to the marriage, you're going to keep the spice and keep everything going. And I think that's what I realize is the work in the marriage.
True.
Right?
Makes sense.
And that's how I see it.
And it's just a lot of compromise and understanding on both sides. Like, you can't have these like 1942 freaking mindsets of, okay, I'm married, I'm the man, I'm the big man who has to do this, you're the woman who has to do that. Like, no, you have to listen to your partner. If your partner's like, hey, listen, I don't want to do that, you have to be okay to be like, all right, listen, I'm not used to that, but how about we meet in the middle? Right. Sometimes you do it this day and I'll do it this day. But a lot of people, they don't, like I said, it's all about the wedding. It's not about the work in the marriage.
And it's funny. The last point that I want to make is the one thing that I think is extremely important in a marriage and commitment is empathy. I think you have to be able to feel for the other person when they've had a bad day at work, when they're overwhelmed with taking care of the child, when they're overwhelmed with cooking, when they just got personal stuff going on. If you can't empathize and feel and have sympathy and empathy for the other person, I don't think, the marriage is done, in my opinion.
I hear you. I feel like in that same breath, I can't have empathy for you and you have empathy for your situation. So say like you have a personal situation or whatever. If you're sitting here empathizing on that situation, I'm giving you empathy. What are you giving me?
Right.
So it's kind of like I'm bleeding dry, giving you all this empathy. But if you're not like in return addressing like, hey, thank you, babe, for listening or whatever. But if like I feel like
but that's
yeah.
That's
right,
part of the commitment, the communication, and.
But there are some people that will dry you up. Like literally, you give the empathy. Oh my god, babe, I'm so sorry that you had this day. Blah blah blah. But then when the tables are turned, it's like, why are you acting like that?
But then they're not committed, are they?
They're not committed. Yeah,
they're not. Sure. I mean, that's it. So I mean, that was the topic on wedding versus marriage and commitment. Let us know what you guys think.
You know what we missed? Like a whole bunch.
What do we miss?
What does a man value more, and what does a female value more?
Ooh. Do you want to hit that real quick, or do you want to save that for another day?
No, we go ahead.
What do you value more?
What do I value more?
Well, yeah, because you can only speak for yourself.
The marriage, because to be honest, remember, I really didn't want a wedding, but then I was like, I kind of.
Oh yeah.
I kind of do want a wedding.
Let's elope. No, not gonna happen.
Yeah, I wanted to elope. And then on top of that, think about it. We got engaged during the beginning of the pandemic, so it wasn't even like we had a choice
I got yelled at about that. She didn't have her nails done because you couldn't go to the nail shops.
We don't talk about that, but so I didn't care about the wedding. Hindsight 2020. Now I'm like, dang, did I do too little? Did whatever? But it wasn't me. I felt like it wasn't our personality. Like I felt like I don't want the celebration until years go by. Then I can have something to celebrate.
You've earned it.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, what do I value most? So I have two answers to that.
You value me.
I think, man, I value the wedding when it comes to somebody else and I can eat their jollof rice. And I value my marriage more than anything else. That is my answer.
So what if they don't have jollof rice?
Then I'm not going. God forbid. Motakasi. God forbid.
Where was the jollof rice in Morocco?
No, but that was lamb. They had lamb. That's different.
You didn't say that.
But I wasn't in the country. I wasn't in the jollof serving country. So I wasn't going to eat couscous jollof. So that's not real food now. That's bird food. Anyway, but I think that kind of wraps it up, no? Answer now, let the people know. But that's kind of what we're thinking. That's what we look at. We'd like to hear from you guys a little bit more. Let us know what your thoughts are on wedding versus marriage versus commitment. Comment below. If you like what you see, please subscribe, set the alerts. Let us know if you have any specific topics that you'd like us to cover as well. We're asking for more engagement. Please, reach out to us if you have any questions. But that wraps up episode 5 of Marriage
And I would like to apologize, not in my usual gear, but
Anyway.
She Royal's coming soon.
And She Rose is coming. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Peace and love.